This is the Alliance Dispatch. Do you read us?
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Alliance Dispatch. I am the official dispatcher number one, Danny. Now, as you'll notice, I'm not here with James. I'm here with Stephen.
Hello. I guess that makes me the new number two.
Wow, you've got a little bit of... I suppose you've all got to fight in a ring because there is obviously more than just the two of us now. And we've had a slight change to the channel. James has gone off. He's gone home as Poochie to go play Flesh and Blood. It's his first love. It's not his first love. It's his second love, but it's his main love right now. He's not getting much through in. So we're wishing him all the best of luck. And if he doesn't win the World Championships, he's made a big mistake.
A massive mistake.
Yeah, so the lineup for the channel now is going to be primarily all the good Norwich players. So if you're not on this and you're a Norwich player, awkward. As I say, so it's me.
Way to go.
Yeah, so it's me and Stephen, Jay of Essex fame, Michael and Jay. And I'm sure we'll be dragging in the players at the local weekly. In some shorts and stuff. We've got some ideas going on there. So, Stephen, do you want to just give a quick rundown of your SWU career, just so people know who you are?
SWU career? Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Steve. Danny pretty much got me into the game. It was something that I kind of had my eye cast on, and he just put a bunch of commons and uncommons in my hand. Card game wise, I've always kind of wanted to get into a game. Done Magic, which everyone goes through that phase at some point.
Dark times.
Dark times. I did play Warhammer Champions quite a lot and played that competitively. Was quite high in the rankings online. Don't know if that's a flex or not, because there was a lot of bots on there as well.
I'm still singing my praises from Star Wars Destiny from 2017, and no one played that game.
No, that's true. Got involved in SWU. I've noticed there has been a bit of a crossover with old X-Wing players and Star Wars Unlimited recently. So some of you might recognise me from the X-Wing scene. I did a bit of content under the name of No Beef Just Party, and was also one of the regular stream team for Athena Games and that type of thing. So some of you may recognise me. A lot of you probably won't recognise me, but that's just a little bit about me.
Yeah. And as far as accolades, you came second in a store showdown when you lost to Jamie, didn't you? That's your highest.
Yes. With a £10 Tarkin, as I called that deck.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm one of those players that doesn't really focus on sticking with one type of play style. I like to dabble with everything. The Tarkin thing came about because it was cheap and I thought it was hilarious. And then figured out that there was quite a nice way to be able to beat Sabine with that deck. And it turned out that I played 4 Sabines on that day, which is probably why I got to the final. But I've lent into Tarkin a bit more for this new set, but we'll chat about that a bit more.
I was going to say, that kind of leads us nicely into set 2 has obviously been out now for what, like 3 weeks? 3 weeks if you include pre-release?
3 weeks.
And how has your initial impressions of the new set gone from set 1 to set 2?
I really like it. I really enjoyed pre-release. I played in both days at Athena. Went into there fully expecting to go all scum and villainy, and like I'll play Bosk one day and I'll play Cad Bane the next, and I ended up playing Rey both days, which I really wasn't expecting. But yeah, boo earns indeed. But I really like the set. I really like the set as it is on its own. I think it's a kind of just a really fun kind of bubble to play in. Looking forward to doing more drafts, and I think I can see people building cubes out of this set and just kind of playing this set in its own little world. But I don't think it's overtaken the game in a way that everything from set one is just going to be disregarded as well, which I think is kind of the proof in that is what's happened at the most recent tournaments and what we're seeing on a Thursday. Last Thursday there was a lot of
Grand Inquisitor
set one cards being played. Grand Inquisitor has kind of come out of nowhere. But I really enjoy it. I really don't think I think I've only kind of touched the surface with the set as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the set progresses over the next few weeks as people get more and more games in.
Yeah. So kind of with what you're thinking at the moment, I've stolen this straight from K2AD. Obviously, we've got SCG Baltimore at the weekend. They've got 2 1K tournaments and a 2K tournament. And also, much bigger than that, we've got a winner box at our local Athena Games on Sunday.
Absolutely.
So
Pride is at stake.
Pride is at stake. So give me like your top 4. What do you reckon we're going to see? And I will be scoring you next week.
Okay, as in top 4.
Leaders.
Boba. Yeah, Boba for sure.
Yeah.
I think Boba is
Great.
still strong. It's still strong. And it has a lot of the tools to be able to deal with a lot of the new stuff as well. So Boba's still in a really good spot. Some of the set 2 cards have really kind of kept it at the top as well. Like Zuckuss and Forlom are just really good. You can squeeze in the TIE Phantom if you want. Triple Dark Raid is really good.
Shockingly, in my testing, I found that like Boba's armor, I'm not necessarily. It's in my sideboard, and it's good against like the aggro matchups. But because of like a Rival's Fall or similar types of removal, Foul the Dragon and stuff, loading them up with a Boba's armor isn't as powerful as I was initially expecting that to be.
Yeah, I think I pulled a Boba's armor at that draft that we did, and I just think it's just quite a good upgrade just to whack on anyone. Like if you've got it. So I stuck it on Cad Bane, which made Cad Bane quite hilarious to deal with. But
it's still 2/2, isn't it? Like
you're adding 2/2 to an already kind of beefy unit.
Yeah,
but no, I agree because people were spitting feathers about Boba's armor. Like, it's going to break the game. Boba Fett's already really strong. And like you said, there's loads of ways to deal with it. There's loads of upgrade removal. There's Rival's Fall and
the most success I've had with it is putting it on Boba unit. Then that whacks him up to like a 5/8 or something, and then with his extra tap damage and then not taking damage back, and I've had lots and lots of really good work out of Boba unit with Boba armor over the Boba leader with Boba armor. But
but I think Boba for sure. Rey is just really good, and Blue Hero has some really good things that complement Rey and Rey's ability, and also the whole kind of comfy shoes scenario. If you played Luke or Chirrut in the previous set, you've already pretty much gotten the bulk of a deck there to be able to play Rey, because I think Rey is just a better version of the two of them. They're both blue, they're both Force users, and they all interact with the same cards really well. There's two really good Rey decks at the moment, Blue Rey and the discard Red Rey. So I think they're going to be quite prominent. Again, like it's an older leader. I think Ramp Vader is going to be knocking about.
Right.
It's quite a simple way to play the game. Just ramp up, and then you have Vader, Maul, Palpatine. Probably game over once you've got to that. Sure. And again, people are used to playing Vader.
Yeah, and Vader is iconic, right? I guess you've got to. Some people will just be playing Vader because it's Darth Vader.
Yeah,
something I always forget about as a sweaty power gamer, that people just play for fluff, and that when you're in the rounds of Swiss, a Ramp Vader deck is actually probably not horrendous. I mean, that Ramp Jabba deck won whatever 1K it was at the weekend.
Oh, it's Palp, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, Palp. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. The mono green Palp deck.
It was, yeah.
Which I'm just so surprised could get past through all the aggro. Maybe there wasn't much aggro. You know, they were only like 20-person events or so they weren't huge.
Yeah. But you got to remember, you do need an element of luck as well. So they, like you said, they might not have just played. All the aggro might have played against each other, and then once it got to the cut, the way the cut worked, just didn't play against it. Yeah, I think you will see either a Jabber or a Palp.
Yeah,
like in the cut, just because you know it is good. Like if they can survive up until that point where they're dropping Rampors or Relentless, and
I quite like the flip Jabber Dryden Voss combo as well, because they both come out on 8, which is extra spicy.
It is. But yeah, then my last one, I've got to say Tarkin, just because I'm really enjoying playing Tarkin.
Bit of Top Gun Tarkin.
Top Gun Tarkin. I think we spoke about, just because of everyone realizing how ridiculous TIE Phantom was over that pre-release. I mean, you loosely discussed, maybe Yellow Tarkin's going to be quite good.
Yeah.
And we looked at the Imperial Yellow cards and we're like, no, it's not. It's going to be trash.
Yeah.
But then people who have more time than us come up with some really good Tarkin decks. And yeah, I went 3-1 with it at our locals last Thursday. I lost to the winner. The person who beat me was playing Blu-ray, and they, in our third game in their best of 3, they must have healed like 40 to 50 health. It was disgusting. I just couldn't finish the job off.
Yeah.
But again, like TIE Phantom's a really scary card if you have nothing to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of ways you can get rid of it. Like
Snoke
like just the bane of my life.
Yeah, just play a 2-drop ship turn 1, and you can kill TIE Phantom no problem. Like, so yeah. I was playing a game on an unannounced platform, and I bounced a TIE Phantom 3 times on turns 4, 5, and 6, and then he got very mad and left. But you know, just bouncing a TIE Phantom is an easier way to get rid of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why Boba's still really strong, because Boba has lots of access to that type of stuff. Like
it's incredible, like how Boba in every color now plays very different, like has a very different game plan, but is all very good. Where set 1, you know, blue Boba was not quite there, and red Boba did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it was awful. I tried red Boba, and it just didn't click.
Where you throw in a couple of Django's, or Relentless Raiders now with Triple Dark Raid, and
or 30 spaceships.
Or 30 spaceships.
30 spaceships.
No ground units apart from old Boba.
Yeah. That is what I'm bringing on Thursday. I've had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. So I think I agree with most of your predictions. I think I would drop the Jabber, Palp, and put in Kira. I think Kira is outrageously good. I did some testing over the weekend with her, and just on her flip, her ability to deal 2 damage to give something a shield is nice. When you're like, here's an Avenger, now it has a shield. Here's a Snoke, now it has a shield. All very annoying. And obviously in the early game, you can be like, oh, here's my grit unit. It's got a shield, and I've pumped it up a bit. Yeah, I'm a better Grand Inquisitor. But her flip to half everything's health, heal everything, and then half everyone's health means that she can trade into every leader in the game, bar 4, which is like Chewie, Palp, Thrawn, and Jabba. And that is just... It's just actually wild when you just see it actually happen in front of you, where you're like, oh, I don't really know what the hell to deal with this. And then suddenly you flip and everything dies, or, everything just gets halved, and you have really good favorable trades into the board. It's just so much more impactful than, healing yourself for 1 as you go through the steps with Iden, or getting 1 extra attack on damaged units with Krennic. Because I feel like Krennic really wants to play like an like an aggro matchup where he's trading, getting damage boosts, and then hitting your base, and playing like a unit control game, like when you laser blast and you kill your board, you're like, oh, it's not as good. So yeah, I think I'm very tempted to bring Kira this week to our weeklies just to give her a go. Yeah. Because no one played her last week. I don't think we had any blue villain, and
no,
there's a lot of blue hero, but blue hero is much more of a mid-range deck, which kind of tops out at like the big Healy ship, Redemption, Luke's,
Redemption, yeah,
and that's where that deck stops. Where blue villain just absolutely trashes it with the Avengers and the Relentlesses and Snokes, and I feel it's just obviously it doesn't heal anywhere near as much, but if their game plan is to go long, you've got the better long game and you just win. It's just the issue of playing a best of 3 in 50 minutes when you're playing a control deck is
I think that might be why we don't see it much.
Yeah,
because we didn't see any while Iden was really popular. I don't think we saw any Iden players for our weekly.
No, occasionally we'd get an Iden or a Krennic. I think Palpatine was the most seen control hero. Was Owen's yellow Palp, which was just playing into a field of aggro. Was a madman.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Simon had that Thrawn, blue Thrawn deck, which was horrible to play against.
Yeah. Which has only got worse. It's only got worse. Oh my god! I do like enjoying playing the game. And blue villain does make you just feel like you're not playing the game for the first 5 rounds.
Yeah, it does slow you right down, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is
But would you say Kira's quick enough?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, but she comes out on turn 5, so she comes out earlier than all the other blue villain characters. If you need her to, but her ability to just like trade and control the board to get you into that late game is just really strong, and also the client is ridiculous. For those of you who hasn't played against him,
as a card.
It's I was playing against I played against mono red Han, and I got to 29 damage. No, sorry, 24 damage because I was playing ECL. And then with the client, I managed to get back down to 11 and he conceded.
That's rank.
Yeah. Because as soon as you get control of the board, it's like they can't play a unit. If they do, you just client it and kill it. And you just heal 5. And then you just do that every round, plus all the little bits of healing you've got. It's really, really strong. It'd be interesting to see kind of out of the predictions that come out of Baltimore, whether or not that will be, if people are going to play for that, or they're going to hold on to their spice for Gen Con the weekend after.
Yeah, because that does make it a little bit interesting, doesn't it? Because you will get a lot of people that will use Baltimore as their, I'm just going to gauge, see what's out there.
Yeah.
And then if there is something that is ridiculously overrepresented, then they may go, right, I'm going to do some...
Yeah, got to do some work.
If I want to win the big one.
Yeah, I need to counter. But then also, would you say, although... obviously, like, Gen Con is the big one, because Gen Con is like the biggest American convention. But actually, is the pricing as good as 2 1Ks and a 2K?
Yeah.
Because I imagine, I've not actually checked the pricing, but I imagine it's going to be run by FFG. But it very well could be a 5K for all I know. But I just wonder whether or not the pricing at Gen Con is...
Yeah, I don't think I've not seen anything about it.
Yeah, actually. Just having a quick little look now. We're doing it live. That is just... Gen Con events preview. Premier tournament. You earn yourself for a booster pack for every game you win, plus an additional booster pack for placing in the top 32. If you make it to the top 16, you'll also earn yourself an exclusive playmat. If you make it to the top 4, you could be walking away with an entire booster box display.
That's the same as Manchester.
Yeah, and the same as UK Games Expo.
Yeah.
So you get the Infus Ness mat with some boxes. So, I would say if you're getting top 4 and you're walking away with an entire booster display, that's just a box. A box is £100. That's nowhere near the value of what Baltimore are giving out. So, although Gen Con will have the more prestige to it, like I won Gen Con, I think the Baltimore could be a bit sweaty, but then also the turnouts will probably be completely different. I imagine Baltimore won't be that big in comparison to Gen Con because Gen Con is Gen Con.
Yeah.
And obviously bigger tournaments give you better data.
Yeah. And you'll get more, I guess you'll get more casual players at Gen Con because you'll have people that are going to Gen Con for the weekend and they're like, I'll
spend a day playing a bit of Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. While something like a 1K.
Yeah, if you're not confident that you're going in to win, you're not entering a 1K, are you?
No, you're not. But yeah, it's interesting because up until recently we didn't get them here.
Well, yeah. So that picks us up nicely into upcoming events in the UK. So this weekend we've got the biggest match in Pride Prestige, which is the Athena Winner Box, which is our local store. There's a lot of Channel Pride riding on this.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we all in it?
I think we're all playing in it.
I think one of the Jays might have said that they weren't.
Oh, yes, because it's his birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Sure, but he always finishes bottom anyway, so.
Yeah. True. They should all have their birthday on the 8th of July.
Yeah, it is a great weekend.
Like every normal state person. Yeah. Best time for a birthday.
Absolute best time. July babies are great, but the 8th of July babies are even better. So we've got that. I'm going to probably be holding my deck back a little bit to see what wins Baltimore on Friday and maybe Saturday, and then just quickly mash a deck together Sunday morning and play it. I might be cheeky. I do my best work under having never played a deck before.
I'm gonna
see how it goes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Tarkin last week. I've taken Boba Red this week.
Yeah,
the theme to both decks is just lots of spaceships.
Yeah.
And just see how Boba Red goes. I was missing a few cards for my Tarkin deck anyway, but they are all slowly showing up this week. So if Boba Red doesn't go to plan, then I will fall back on
old trusty Top Gun Tarks. Yeah, reasonable. I think, so next weekend, we've actually got 2 very big events. We've got the Cantina Royal up in Stockport, Manchester, which is run by he's a really good Destiny player of mine, friend. I've forgotten your name. I'm really sorry. Terrible friends. But he's been running this charity event for gone more than 5-6 years now, 7 years every year. It's a really good event. The prize support. Boris. It's Boris. And the prize wall that he's got is always fantastic every year. It's a really good event. If you are nearby or even thinking about going to your first event, it would be a really good first event to go to. It's held at Element Games, which is a fantastic game store, just from a play-based perspective, but also from a buying supplies perspective as well. So do highly encourage anyone who may be on the fence about going to the Cantina Royal to go to it over this other event, because it's been in the books for months.
Yeah.
And the other event, which is very tempting to go to. If I was not busy this weekend, I would be going to one of these 2 events, but unfortunately I'm not available. But we have our possible winner case down at, is it Dark Sphere? Or one of the other London store? It is Dark Sphere.
Yeah, Dark Sphere. That's the one on Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah, in the basement.
Yeah.
In the basement, which is not as nice of a store because you're in a basement. But it's air-conned, so that's nice, I guess. But you need to get a certain amount of turnout for that one in order for the case to be up for grabs. With the Cantina Royal up north, and people who would have already booked into that, I'm not sure how well the turnout for that will be. But hopefully they get a good turnout. Hopefully someone wins a case. And then
I'm tempted to go to that if I can.
It's a lot easier for like us to get down to London than it is up to Stockport for sure. And then there's not really anything for the early part of August. We've got a couple of we have a draft locally as well as all of our weekly play stuff, but the next big one is our first 1K tournament in Leicester of all places on the 25th of August, which is a Sunday. Which I think there's some buzz in the group that we may be attending, because then we can become professional SWU players.
Professional card players.
Because as soon as you win a penny, you are paid, therefore professional.
Very true. And there is the possibility, I think I saw, because it's the UKTC guys who are organising it, which if you're not familiar with who they are, they do have kind of a pedigree when it comes to organising events. So they do usually specialise in tabletop events. I think you've been to a few of them.
Yeah.
Someone that we know locally is their current London X-Wing GT
National champion, yeah.
National champion. I'm not sure if that's the official title.
You just call it.
Just call it the champ. They get like, some people have had really bad experiences with them with other games. I didn't have a particularly great time with Underworlds with them, but they've been doing this for years. So hopefully it works out for them, because they have advertised that it will go up to 3K if they have enough.
Ooh. Yeah, and originally we were all kind of we were just talking about how we don't see 1K events in the UK, and thought, oh, maybe it's to do with our gambling laws or something, and evidently not. It just turns out stores don't want to do them, I guess, because when you think of like a lot of the American stores, they have 20 people show up. If Athena ran a 1K tournament, you'd have 30, 40 people show up for that. We have 20 on a Thursday night, like.
Yeah. It's interesting, really. Maybe because there must be gambling.
I imagine it's also just not wanting to have to deal with the sweat behind a 1K tournament, like the judging, and then having to like temper everyone's emotions when they're playing, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
imagine there's a lot more stress on a store from an organizational standpoint of playing for money. But coming from like the esports background of cards, like I did around a lot of Hearthstone events, which were like 25 grand prize pools and stuff. So it doesn't really, I don't really get it personally.
We'll just see. Hopefully it works and it encourages them. Maybe for there to be like some more. I mean, Flesh and Blood do money tournaments, don't they, in the UK? And they go quite well.
So maybe it will be like this will be the first one to start encouraging other people, because if it does get a good turnout and they get up to 3K prize pool, then other stores could be like, oh, there's a lot of profit to be made in running these. So maybe we'll start seeing them spring up. And then the weekend after that, on the 31st of August, we've got the Twickenham equivalent of Set 2 up in Manchester, in one of the hotels not really in Manchester at all. It's just outside.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's not in the heart of, it's like not in the city centre. It's out near the outskirts of Manchester. A big 2-day event. I think they've got like 500 tickets available. It was a ridiculous amount.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was a really high amount. I imagine that will be as you know, it will be Gen Con sized event. It will be the biggest event over the next month
in
the UK, because it's only a 20 quid buy-in for your ticket. As we said earlier, people do tend to get a bit pit off about traveling for 1Ks if they don't think they're going to win, because the buy-in is higher on 1Ks, because obviously you've got to put your money in towards the prize pool. Where
35 quid.
Yeah, where Manchester is going to be, much more relaxed, although they're doing like 7 or 8 rounds of Swiss day one or something. But you're going to have Twin Suns, you're going to have pods that are firing and all that kind of stuff. So once you've done your 4 rounds and you've not done very well, you can just drop, go play side events, go have a chat. One of my biggest things I really enjoyed about the Twickenham events was seeing loads of players from Destiny I hadn't seen since before COVID, and just hanging around and chatting absolute nonsense with them.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone gets together, don't they? And it's just
yeah, I'm a really big advocate of events.
Music festival vibe, isn't it? Yeah,
but you're inside eating and drinking expensive event food rather than sitting outside eating and drinking expensive event food.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides.
Yeah, and obviously we've got Galactic qualifiers announced in the UK as well. There's one in Scotland. There's one in Edinburgh, Sheffield, and Cardiff. I think are the 3.
Is it Sheffield? I think it was Birmingham.
Somewhere in the Midlands. Edinburgh, Cardiff.
In England.
Yeah, I know I can't make the English one. I think I'm away that weekend. Cardiff is a bit of a pain to get to, but I might give it a go. And I'm probably almost definitely going to Edinburgh. But
yeah, I think that's the one that's caught all our eyes, hasn't it? Going up to Scotland, and you can just get a plane from Rhodes, right, to Edinburgh.
Yep, just fly up, 40 minutes.
Done. So I think we've all got our eye on that one.
Yeah, so if you are about, you'll see us at a few events. I think we've got our name carved out for us in the Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex kind of territories. So we're going to slowly start pushing out into the Midlands. But, we're definitely the best team in the UK because we're the only official team in the UK. Hashtag.
We are the first.
Yeah, Norfolk Crew. Is that what we're going to go with? Norfolk Crew? The Alliance Dispatch?
We'll work on that.
Norfolk Crew? We'll change the name. We hate maximum overwhelming barrage and Jay.
I don't.
No, I don't either. I think that card is really super important. Although I did lose a game yesterday because they played Overwhelming Barrage on 5 and then Overwhelming Barrage on 6. And I was just like, well, I've lost the game because you've got double Overwhelming Barrage. But
2 in a row.
Yeah, literally played a Fire Spray, barraged his Boba, blew up my Fire Spray. I was like, that's okay, I've got another one. Next turn, slam my Fire Spray, barraged his Boba, blew up my Fire Spray. And I was just like, I hate this game.
Okay.
I hate this game.
Yeah. So you getting 2 Fire Sprays was fine. Him getting 2 OBs in a row. Not fine. Not fine.
Yeah, that's how that's how I live my life, yeah. Right, I think that's kind of crossed off everything we wanted to have a chat about today. It's just a quick one. It's just to say we are still alive. We are back and better than ever. We'll get more of the boys in at some point. Maybe we'll have to get one on the weekend, do a little recording, but you'll start seeing a bit more shorts and stuff from
maybe even webcam games.
Maybe even webcam games. We've tried it a couple of times and it's a bit, you have to get the right setup, but we will continue to see what we can do under the new brand of the Alliance Dispatch, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye.
This is the Alliance Dispatch. Over and out.